Hey guys, it's Ariel or Flying Pasta Kitty, and today I'm going to be telling you a story. I decided to do something a little different than my usual. So, usually I stream Skyrim or God of War or any other game I please. So I thought, might as well just record some gameplay for Stardew Valley and tell a story over it. Stardew Valley isn't that exciting. I'm sorry if the gameplay you're watching is boring. So today we're going to talk about, again, as the title suggests, the first time I ever got drunk. This story is actually kind of funny, and I just thought I'd tell it. So, for some context, my cousin was actually the first person I actually got drunk with. Now, before we begin on that, she ended up, for some more context, she had gone through a very rough divorce. Now, this divorce had been rough. She was struggling a lot with it. She was very devastated and upset about it. Well, her and her boyfriend at the time didn't have anywhere to stay. Her boyfriend's name is Seth. So my cousin Taylor and her boyfriend Seth, we decide, hey man, you can stay with my mom's siblings and I. You can stay in my room, because I had the largest bedroom at the time. So I decide, okay, no big deal. So we end up having them stay. Well, one night when my mom's at work, my cousin Taylor, who loves to drink, had drank a ton of spiced rum. And well, she kind of got blackout drunk. Now, not to the point where it's violent and cops are involved. No, 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 no. She got drunk to the point where it was just completely and utterly awkward. Like, to give you an idea of what happened, she ends up hugging me at one point, sobbing hysterically, clinging on to me, going, and I quote, "Never fall in love, Harry. It makes you vulnerable. It's a horrible thing. I was a woman. Mama bought me pots and pans." Again, that was the main gist of it. After that, I just kept looking at Seth like, what the heck are we supposed to do? And mind you, she did this in front of her boyfriend at the time. So, as I stated before, we end up just, dealing with that. The next day we tell her about it. She apologizes. She had no memory of doing so. No big deal, right? Whatever's said and done. About a day later, their friend David comes over. He had brought orange cream svedka, which is a type of vodka, for those of you who don't know, and then two 20-ounce bottles of Sunkist, which is an orange soda for also those of you who may not have Sunkist or not know. So I decide, all right, I'm sitting here and I decide, all right, I got to keep up with Taylor. If she gets too drunk, I'm scared she's going to black out drunk again and it's just going to be awkward. I didn't want things to be awkward. That was the biggest thing. I have anxiety. I don't like awkward situations like that. So I think to myself, in my stupid logic, okay, so what they explained in health class, and I quote, was people who are heavier have a higher alcohol tolerance, which if you're a person who's like me, you learn very quickly that's not always the case. So I'm thinking, all right, I weigh 250 pounds. I can outdrink Taylor, right? No big deal. It's not like I drink all the time. No, I don't drink all the time. I actually rarely drank at that point. I was 19, which, yes, I was underage. Burn me at the stake, man. So no, I decide brilliantly that we're gonna drink. We're gonna outdrink Taylor to make sure that she doesn't get drunk. So the way we did it was we just passed the bottles around and we just took swigs of orange svedka and chased it with frickin' orange soda. Simple enough, pretty easy, pretty straightforward on paper. So I decide, okay, let's do it. So I'm taking huge swigs of this vodka, which you have to understand, not an easy task. It burns. Alcohol burns to a degree when you drink it. So, me being inexperienced, I'm taking huge swigs and chasing it with orange soda. Now, David, Seth, and Taylor, they're not noticing it. Not noticing it really well at all. and are completely unaware that, yes, I am indeed just going ham on this alcohol, sir. I'm going ham on it, my friend. I'm just, I'm chugging, dude. So we keep passing the bottle. I keep swigging. It gets to a point where I decide that I need to pee. Now, I'd been sitting on the little twin bed in my room, cross-legged like I usually do. Heck, I'm doing a video this way right now. I'm not even sitting at my desk because a humidifier is sitting on it at the moment. I'm sitting cross-legged on a bed at the time. I had just been drinking. Now, the thing about sitting down and drinking and not moving at all, you don't really truly realize how intoxicated you truly are. So, logically, I decide, okay, I can get up, right? I don't think I'm drunk. I had to pee. So I stand up. My the room pretty much spins. Like I get immediately dizzy. I fall right back down onto the bed. Now I'm not injured. Seth, Taylor, and David like immediately stand up and like examine and make sure that I didn't hit my head on the way down and that I'm okay. And Taylor's covering her mouth. She's trying not to laugh as she asks if I'm okay. And I drunkenly reply, and I'm slurring bad at this point. I'm like, the room spun. The room spun, Tay. And that's what I said. So she's like, oh my God. And so at the realization that I am okay, but obviously very intoxicated, they laugh. They laugh really freaking hard. They're like dying. They are crying laughing. And I'm like, oh God, it's not funny, guys. You know, I'm like standing up and it's like, and I'm like, I gotta pee. And I'm like, and again, Taylor's like, yeah, it'll do that, Ari. And I'm like, okay. And I'm internally thinking, oh no, because I just realized something. My mother is home. She is home and her bedroom's at the end of the hallway, which my mom's a night owl. This is not one of those instances where we have to worry about waking her. No, no, no. She's a night owl. So I decide, in my wisdom, that, okay, I'm just gonna try and stand up. I'm gonna go to the kitchen. You know, I'm gonna go pee. I'm gonna go to the kitchen. I'm gonna eat something and drink water to avoid getting hungover because, according to what people say, that is a good idea, which word of advice, do that. You don't want to be hungover. So I stood up and I realized I can't walk to save my life. I'm no longer dizzy. It's just my hand and eye coordination and my walking, my overall coordination skills are gone. I decide it's whatever. I end up, I'm staggering. I'm bumping the sides of the hallway, the walls of the hallway, because I can't stay upright without leaning on something. So, as I'm doing this, I don't know how much noise I was making, but my mom asked, and my mom hollers from the end of the hallway because her bedroom's at the end of the hallway, and she says, Ari, what you doing, honey? And I'm sitting there. I'm contemplating whether I'm going to die and whether mother knows if I'm drunk or not. She cannot see me for where she's so far back in her room, she cannot see me. She's probably sitting on the bed smoking a cigarette, something. So I'm sitting there and I'm thinking, oh no, this is the freaking end. My mom's gonna not only kill me, she's gonna kill Taylor. She's also probably gonna murder Seth and David because we're supposed to be responsible adults. So I'm thinking, I'm internally like preparing for my life. My life is just flashing before my eyes. Like this, I'm thinking, yep, I'm gonna die today. This is how I die. Which my mom wasn't like anti alcohol or anything, but it's like, oh, she specifically said not to drink, and I did it anyway, and I knew I shouldn't have. I'm terrible. So, what happens is I end up just hollering back, I'm like, nothing, Mom. I'm just going to the bathroom, grabbing a snack, and going to bed. which this is not an unusual occurrence because I'm not gonna lie, I snack in the middle of the night. The gas station guy knows me. I go there at like 3 a.m. before this whole pandemic hit. I order food because I have no ability to sleep at the early hours of the day at like 3 a.m. So no, I decide, okay, no big deal. So I go and use the restroom. I wander into the kitchen. I make like 4 pieces of toast, grab something out of the fridge, the mini fridge, and grab like water, which we had a mini fridge at the time because we were poor. All right. No big deal. So we get that, and I'm like, all right. And I'm thinking, okay, I just tell my mom good night, trying to act normal, hoping I did not slur when I said those words. And I end up finally entering the room and plopping back on the bed, and I'm just eating toast. I'm trying to sober up. And I asked my cousin, I'm like, how do I sober up? And my cousin just kind of laughs and is like, Taylor just laughs. She's like, yeah, you kind of don't. You're beyond the point of return drinking wise. And I'm just like, oh no, this is horrible. I am too drunk. And I'm thinking, am I going to get hungover? Da da da. And David, being the wiser one's like, it's okay. Just eat something and drink, and you shouldn't be hungover tomorrow. I'm like, okay. So I decide after eating my toast and drinking, David ends up leaving about 20 minutes later. I had ended up pouring the rest of the Svedka in the orange soda, making it harder to drink because of how strong it was and how little orange soda we had left. And it slowed us down drinking wise. But I still drank because, I'm not going to let Taylor get blackout. And I decide it's okay. I'm going to just stagger my way to bed. I'm like laying on my bed, and we all decide to go to bed. Well, the next morning I woke up, best sleep of my life, which technically didn't sleep better. It's just that alcohol interrupts REM sleep. Look it up. You don't actually sleep better. So I slept great, and for what feeling wise, I slept great. And I realized I missed my alarm. My alarm had went off, and I didn't hear it at all. You know, because you get a notification on your phone. I'm just like, oh crap, because I hadn't gotten my siblings up for school. I was out of school at this point, so I decide, oh well, it's okay. They don't miss it any days. Mom was just like, ah, you're probably just tired. Da da da. But I wasn't hungover, thank God. And we everything was all right. But the moral of the story is, don't try to outdrink someone just because you outweigh them, because that's never a good idea, and that's not how that works unless you're like Andre the Giant or some crap. Anyway, thank you guys for watching my video. If you like this video, words, I can speak words. Feel free to like, subscribe, and comment. Comment down below, what was it like the first time you got drunk if you've been drunk? And with that said, please be safe, stay well, stay hydrated, and I hope to see you in the next video or live stream. Bye bye!